In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to do math with significant figures, how to figure out how many significant digits should be in your answer. And the way that you figure this out completely depends upon what type of math problem it is. There are different rules. For addition and subtraction has one rule, and multiplication and division has a second rule. So let's start with addition and subtraction. So when we do this, we go ahead and put it in the calculator just the way it appears. So we have 14.56 minus 1.2410, and our answer is 13.3190. Now, that's the calculator answer. We want to round that to the correct number of significant figures. For addition and subtraction, all that matters are the number of decimal places. So this number, this first number, has 1, 2 decimal places, and our second number has 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter if there's zeros or non-zeros, does not matter. It's just how many to the right of the decimal point. So here's our decimal point, 4 to the right. Here's our decimal point, 2 to the right. Whichever one has the fewest determines how many we keep in the answer. So this one had 2 places, this one had 4 places, so our answer can only have 2 decimal places. So ignore to the left of the decimal. We're going to keep 1, 2 places, and we're going to cut this off. But since this is a 9, if it's 5 or higher, we are going to round up the last digit that we're keeping. So our final answer would be 13.32, because this 9 that we're cutting off, we round up that 1 to a 2. You just go up one digit in the last place you're keeping. So let's practice a couple of these. Addition works exactly the same way. Okay, you may want to pause for a minute and work these out, see what you think, and then hit play when you're ready to see your answers. So calculator answer, I'll mark that with a C. If we add these two together, we're going to have 1,003.152. Now we ignore everything to the left of the decimal. We just want to see how many we're going to keep. We have 1, 2, 3 here. We have 1 digit here. So that means we're only going to keep this one. So 1003 point. Now it's a 1, but since this is a 5, we round up to 2, and that's our final answer to the correct number of sig figs. For our next one, the calculator answer is 30.361. We have 2 digits here, 3 digits here, so 2 is lower. We get to keep 2, so we're going to cut off that 1, and our final answer will be 30.36. And in our final problem, our calculator answer is 0. I always put the 0 in front. You don't have to put that. I just put that to make the decimal point obvious. 0.1156. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have 1, 2, 3. So we get to keep 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 0.012, because when we cut this off, that's a 5, so we're going to round that up to a 2. So addition and subtraction, it's just the number of decimal places. Whichever number has the fewest determines how many you keep in your answer. So this one, the fewest was 1, we kept 1. This one, the fewest was 2, so we kept 2. This one, the fewest was 3, so we kept 3. So that's how you do addition and subtraction. When working out most problems in chemistry, you're going to be using multiplication and division, not addition and subtraction. So let's go over the second rule, which is the rule for multiplication and division. So let's look at a problem. When working multiplication and division problems, the number of significant figures you keep has nothing to do with the number of decimal places. So got to put that rule out of your brain and open your brain for a new one. With multiplication and division, it comes down to looking at each number and figuring out how many significant figures it has. So let's first go ahead and do our problem. So we have 14.98 times 1.6532, and our calculator answer is 24.764,936. Okay, so how much of that do we keep? So the way that you do this is you look back at your original numbers in the original problem. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4 sig figs. Notice we're counting the ones on the left of the decimal as well as the right. Our next number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures. Now, if you're not sure how to figure this out, you may want to watch my first video, which deals with determining the number of significant figures in a number. So the first number has 4, the second number has 5, 4 is less, so our answer can have 4, not 5. Don't take the bigger, don't add them together, nothing like that. Whichever one has the fewest, that determines how many you keep. So we only get to keep 4 places. So start on the big end, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna cut it off here. This number is 4, it's not 5 or higher, so we are not gonna round up. Don't double round, don't round this one up and then round that one up, no. Only look at that one digit right there that we're cutting off. Pretend like all that isn't there, and since that's a 4, we're just going to cut it off, and we're left with 24.76 as our final answer. Division works the same way, so let's practice some. So the first thing we do is we put these problems into the calculator to figure out what our calculator answer is. So for our first problem, we have 1.25 times 4.15, and our calculator answer is 5.1875. Now we go back and look at our problem. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sig figs in this number, 3 sig figs in this number, so our answer gets 3. So we're going to keep 1, 2, 3, cut it off here. Since that's a 7, we're going to round our 8 up to a 9, and our final answer is 5.19. Our next one, we have 13.36 divided by 104.5. Our calculator answer is 0.1278468 9. So we want to see what we need to round that to. Our top number has 1, 2, 3, 4 sig figs. Our bottom number has 1, 2, 3, 4 sig figs. So we're going to keep 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a 5 or higher, so we just chop it off. And our final answer is 1, 2, 7, 8. In our last problem, we have two things, and the order that you do them does not really matter. So we're going to have 19.8 times 4.256 divided by 3, and our calculator answer is 28.0896. So our front number has 3. Our next number has 4, but our last number only has 1. That means we are only allowed to keep this one digit as our significant digit. Since this one is an 8, we're going to round that up, and we have to keep the distance to the decimal point, but this is a place holding 0, and it does not count as significant. So our final answer is 30. We are limited to one significant figure by this 3, so we can only have one significant figure in our answer. However, we have to maintain the distance to the decimal point.